Hey guys, Johnny Yusuf here. Thank you for joining me today. And today I'm going to share with you guys the #1 most asked questions whenever I share pictures of my remodels and flips and rentals in my personal home. And that question is, what are your paint colors? How should I paint my house, my new investment? And here's the thing. You may be watching this and you're like, oh, cute. Johnny's having a blog about paint colors and art and design. No, that's not it. Paint, you guys have no idea how paint makes so much difference in the value of that home you're working on. People just think paint is like a Pinterest cute thing that, girls do, but they don't realize that actually the right paint can actually increase the value of that home so much. And the wrong paint, which I've seen it, oh my gosh, I've seen it with landlords that have no idea what design. They go in and they make a beautiful home, they do everything with integrity, but then they put crappy paint on the walls and bam, their rental just went $10,000, $20,000 down in value when they sell it, and they can't rent it for the price they want. They actually have to go $50, $75 less a month because it just doesn't look good. Maybe it's a decent home, but it's no longer a home with a wow factor. So I'm gonna share 3 videos. The first video I'm gonna share with you guys is the paint Sheens finishes and the advantage and disadvantage of each of them. And then the second video I'm gonna share with you guys is my actual favorite paint colors. I'm gonna have them in the comments. I'm not, I'm gonna tell you what I really like, but obviously it's up to you what to choose. And I'm gonna do it for interior and exterior paint. And then I'm also gonna share with you guys like what I've done for my house, paint colors. But then the third video, I am gonna share with you guys the trend of paint design on the walls and where things I think from my little experience are heading, so that you can plan accordingly and you're not starting something that's already getting out of style. So hopefully this helps you. So let's start with the first video. I'm gonna share with you guys my definition of the different finishes and what is good and what's bad about each of them. So there are basically different type of finishes on the wall, and I'm sure most of you know this. There's flat finish, there is satin or eggshell, which are pretty similar. There's a little bit of difference, but it's not worth going too much into. And then there is semi-gloss. These are the most popular finishes people use. And flat, I will walk through each of them and I'll tell you what I really like about them and what I don't like about them, so that way you know what to prepare for. So flat paint. So flat is the most popular, most desired paint finish. Flat is, whenever someone is doing a really nice house, they will do flat paint. For my personal homes, for my flips, I do flat paints. And here are the advantages of flat paint. First of all, it is the cleanest, most modern. So flat means that there's no shine to it. So when you walk in, it's calming, it's clean. Think about this. Tesla cars. Have you guys noticed that there are new Tesla cars now coming out with matte finish? They're not shiny like 99.9% of the other cars. It's because matte is the new thing. And it's not just trendy. I mean, I'm sure with cars that can be a trend that will go away, but it's not just trendy. There's something about a matte finish that is calming. It's not in your face. It's not glamour bam. It's just calming, it's just there. And a flat finish gives you that feeling of calm and clean. Another thing besides it being, trendy and in style, a flat finish hides any imperfections on the walls, because when it's not shiny, it's not showing all the imperfections easily. And another advantage of flat finish is that if you have somewhere where there's just some damage on the paint, on the wall, and you just want to touch up paint in specific spots where it got dirty, flat paint, you can get the same color and touch up that paint, and you can't even tell that you touched it. So satin, somewhere in between, flat and semi-gloss, where it has a little bit of shine, but it's not as flat, and you can still see some imperfections, but it's also not as shiny, obviously, as semi-gloss. Semi-gloss, on the other hand, is shiny. The great thing about semi-gloss is that it's so easy to wipe. You can just literally get a wet towel, and if there's dirt on it, wipe, wipe, wipe. Especially if you have kids, semi-gloss works great. The awful thing about semi-gloss, it's just in your face. And also another disadvantage of semi-gloss, it's not as good as flat. If you want to just paint just different patches or spots, you can still see sometimes the difference, even if you match the paint where you touched up paint versus flat, you can't see anything. So those are the differences between flat and semi-gloss, and satin is in between. So for my personal homes, like I said, personal home and flips, I will do flat because it has the best wow factor. But for my rentals, or if you have kids, or if you are maybe a little bit messier and all over the place, and you'll be the person that will put your feet against the wall without even thinking about it, then I would say you don't want to do flat, you want to do satin. I would not recommend semi-gloss in a living room or a bedroom. Again, the shine is so strong, and any imperfection as far as scratches and all that will just be highly reflective. So if your lifestyle is demanding something that's easier to clean, I will do satin. Satin is the great, or eggshell, like I said, satin eggshell are the great in between flat and semi-gloss. And for my rental, I do satin because it's easier to clean. Now for the trim, the baseboards, I definitely would do, even for my house and my flips, I do semi-gloss because they get dirty easily, and you don't want to keep touching up paints, especially with how close it could be to the hardwood floors or the carpet, which would be worse to paint around. So you want to have semi-gloss for those trims, and then flat for your personal home or for your flip. If you have kids, or if you're more likely to be messy and you don't want to deal with it, satin is a great in-between, because satin you can clean easier. That being said, I also would say that for the bathrooms, I would not recommend flat. Even for my own house, I don't have flat, I have satin, because bathrooms, if you have water on the wall, again with flat, it doesn't do really well with wet stuff, it doesn't wipe well, so it can leave marks. But with satin, you can easily wipe it. So my bathrooms and even my kitchen, I have the satin finish. Hopefully that's helpful to you guys, but that's kind of the direction where I go. If you're looking to fix your rental, I would go with satin, or an Airbnb or short term, that's what I use, satin. If it's your home and you're pretty clean and things are not going to go out of control, I would do flat. Bathrooms, I would do satin regardless. Semi-gloss, I would only do on the trim, but I definitely recommend it on the trim. Do not do flat on the trim. And again, the next video, I'm going to share with you guys my actual favorite colors and what colors to kind of prepare for and embrace. And that will be the third video, where I also talk about trends and what to do and what not to do. So again, I want you guys to know, this is more than art, this is also science. So it's not just like, oh, how can we make a pretty home to make it lovely? That's great. But it's also for the purpose of how can we maximize the value of that home. So do not disregard this as another cute, post Pinterest thing about design. This is so crucial. I'm telling you, I've seen contractor going into homes where they do an incredible job with finishing it, but then they put, beige walls, beige cabinets or brown cabinets, and then beige carpet, and the whole house just looks so dull, dated, and they lose so much in the value because of bad decisions like that. So that's what we're trying to avoid, and that's what I want to help you with this. So these videos work great whether you're into design or whether you're into the investment side, because paint is the perfect combination of both. It both makes a home beautiful and it adds value. So on to the next video, where I share with you guys my favorite paint colors. Thanks, guys. And remember, if you like this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and please like the video, because when you do that, it helps me tons.